Hi everybody. Today we are going to talk about the top 10 horror urban fantasy books. What is horror urban fantasy? Horror is something which scares the hell out of you, and urban fantasy is fantasy elements in a suburban place. Like there are towns, cities, and real life, local life, and fantasy elements are thrown into such urban setting. When you mix this together, it becomes horror urban fantasy. But this can also be called as what to read if you are done with King Sorrow by Joe Hill, because King Sorrow is one of the most trending books right now. It's one of the most sensational books right now. It's done by Joe Hill, the son of Stephen King. He's written this book after almost 9 years. And if you're done with King Sorrow, would you want to read next? So I'm giving you a list of books which you can read if you're done with King Sorrow. So first let's talk about King Sorrow. King Sorrow is a book about a dragon. When some children find that life is too much for them, they conjure up a dragon from fantasy books, literature, and the dragon does its bidding, but at a cost. But as the years go by, the cost of the dragon proves to be more and more problematic for them. So will the dragon prove to be problematic for them continuously? Will they regret conjuring up the dragon as they grow up in life? Or will the dragon still do its bidding? That's what the King Sorrow is all about. It's a book about dragon and it's a book about magic. So it's a sensational book. It's a trending book right now, and you should definitely read that book. That is perfect for horror urban fantasy. After that is Salem's Lot by Stephen King, his father. Salem's Lot is about a pandemic of vampires. What happens when a pandemic of vampires sets in? After that is Salem's Lot by the people start turning into vampires one after another. The king vampire wants everybody to be turned into vampires, and he will stop at nothing to achieve his goal. So this book is very terrifying. It's the second book by Stephen King almost 50 years ago, but it still gives the frights and scares as it should. And this is also a perfect horror urban fantasy book. Book is Needful Things, also by Stephen King. This is perfect stranger comes to town trope. A stranger comes to town and he sets up shop. People go to him and he always has the perfect thing for the person. You have to pay for it with a price, a very deadly price. So he charges something out of you, out of your soul, and he gives you the thing which your heart most desires. This drives the town wild, and it puts the town into chaos, which is what the stranger wants. What is the stranger's end game? That you will have to find out only after reading the book. It's a very interesting book filled with horror and a very good story to go with too. So you should definitely check out both Salem's Lot and Needful Things by his father Stephen King if you're done with King Sorrow. After that is Something Wicked This Way Comes. This is a classic book by Ray Bradbury. This is also a classic play on the trope stranger comes to town. So in this, a stranger comes to town with a carnival, and that carnival is very attractive, but it also is very wicked. Very wicked things start happening, and the stranger has something in mind for the town. Will it come to fruition, or will they stop the stranger in his tracks? That you have to find out only, you can find out by reading the book. So it's a very good book and very perfect horror urban fantasy pick. After that is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. You know Frankenstein, it's a book about a doctor who makes a human from body parts. So, and then he brings that creature to life, and then havoc ensues. So it's a very good old classic book, but very nice horror urban fantasy pick. It's a very interesting book, and you'll definitely like it. After that is Witchcraft for Wayward Girls by Grady Hendrix. So this is also a very good book. It's some girls are sent to a place where they teach them witchcraft, but the place is not what it seems to be. So what is the place about? That you will have to find out by reading the book. So our protagonist, a pregnant girl, gets sent to this house of witchcraft, and she starts learning witchcraft. What does she do? What happens to her? That you have to find out by reading the book. This is a perfect horror urban fantasy book. This is a very recent book and a very interesting book. After that comes Buffalo Hunter Hunter. So this book is about vampires. It's a narrative inside a narrative inside a narrative. It's a very convoluted book, but it's a very good book about vampires, and you'll definitely like this book. You should try reading this book, and it's a very recent pick too, and you'll like it a lot. So you should definitely try Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. Then comes two books by Ronald Malfi. One is December Park. So December Park is about a Pied Piper. A Pied Piper deceives children into following him. So people in the town are confused. They want to know whether the Pied Piper is a serial killer or is he a supernatural creature. What is the Pied Piper and how do we stop him? So this book is very nice. It's very interesting, whether it is a mystery thriller or a urban fantasy horror. But so that's why it falls perfectly into horror urban fantasy pick. It's very interesting. People who like a little mystery, a little horror, and combine both of it together, this book is perfect for you. So you should definitely read December Park. Then after that is The Narrows. So Ronald Malfi wanted to write a book about vampires without vampires. So he succeeded in that. He wrote The Narrows. So it's a very horror book about vampire things without vampires, and it's a very scary book. It has all the horror elements, all the urban fantasy elements, and you should definitely read this book. It's a very interesting book. Last is Dresden Files. This is the least horror book about that, but it has horror elements in that. It's about a detective named Harry Dresden. He is a detective magician or a detective sorcerer, if you will. He is the only magician detective in town, and the police task him with solving all the supernatural crimes. So he solves crimes related to creatures, related to different countries, mythical legends related to different countries. All kinds of myths and creatures he deals with, all kinds of supernatural creatures and legends he deals with. So if you like a little bit of horror and a whole lot of mystery, then this book is for you. This is a perfect horror urban fantasy pick for people who don't like too much horror. And there are almost 20 books in this series, so you'll never run out of books, and a new one is coming just now in January. So you'll never run out of books. There are lots of books in this series. So if you like horror this Halloween, you want to spend the Halloween with horror, but you are too scared of it, you want a little bit of mystery with that, then this Harry Dresden Detective or Dresden Files is the perfect match for you. So I hope you have a wonderful Halloween this year. You enjoy all these picks, top 10 horror urban fantasy picks, and enjoy a great Halloween. If you like this urban fantasy picks and content, please like, subscribe to his channel and press the bell and notification icon. I hope you enjoyed this video. There's more to come. Take care. Bye.